welcome to a new episode. Doing something a bit different today.
Yeah, we're towing a caravan and going camping. Something a little different.
We haven't done that in a while. Right, so we are borrowing a van today. We went and met with the guys at Offroad Grit RV. They're a new caravan manufacturer that's based in the Sunshine Coast Hinterland in Queensland, which is where we're from. So we thought we'd go check them out. The van looked great with all the specs they've put in it. And they're really lovely people, aren't they?
Yeah.
They actually offered for us to borrow their caravan, their prototype, and take it out for the weekend and test it out and give some feedback. So that's what we're going to do. We're heading out to Kenilworth Homestead for the weekend. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of a walk around when we get to camp and let you know what we think. So anyway, let's get over to Kenilworth.
And yeah, see how we go.
And see how we go. Alright, we're at Kenilworth Homestead. We made it. We're here. And we got the almost 23-foot van out here in one piece. Never doubted you. Never doubted you. So, here we are. And this is the beast we've got. Look at this. Offroad Grit RV Enduro 22.6. Just massive. But how cool are the stickers? I love it. It's like a little forest. So we'll do a proper tour, but yeah, we might get Hudson out onto the bike track, get set up. We are currently off-grid completely at Kenilworth. We're staying in an unpowered campsite, and the aircon is cranking. We're on 22, and that's just running completely off the lithium battery setup in here. So there's 600 amp hours of lithium. I can't remember how much solar, but we'll look into that for you. Yeah, so we're really impressed so far. We're gonna set it up so we can spend a couple of nights just checking it out and seeing what we think. But at the moment, we're just so impressed with the attention to detail and the finishes. They've done a really great job. The owners are Mark and Rachel. They build the caravans on site, and we spent a couple of hours with them, didn't we? Just going around the van. The attention to detail they've put into their vans and the thought processes of why things are the way they are just second to none. Like, we were blown away, weren't we?
Yeah. There's a lot of just little things they've done to make the van more functional and easier to use.
You can
and not
tell,
waste space.
Yeah, you can tell that they're caravanners. They're not just building a van and ticking all the boxes. They've actually, put the thought into why we're doing things a certain way. Yeah. So the van has 600 amp hours of lithium and 1,080 watts of solar. I'm not sure what they'll do as standard, but that's what this van has.
Full fiberglass, so it's very light. There's no wood at all in the whole setup. There's no wood in the frame or the chassis or anything. It's all galvanized steel. Yeah. And everything. Yeah, you don't have to worry about wood rot in your van like you do with some other vans. No. The water tanks are balanced, one in front of the axle, one in behind the axle, and then the third tank is right at the front. So you use that first. Oh yeah, so the water pump is hidden away. It's not. None of the cupboards in the kitchen have anything in them that obstructs your use of them. So the kitchen sink, obviously you can't not have the drain pipe that's there, and a little bit of the cupboard's taken up by the range hood, but that's all been blocked off, so you still have usability of that cupboard. You're not trying to fit things around cords and pipes and electrical conduit. That's the right word, isn't it? Yeah. So it's just, it's really, really well thought out, and we can't really fault it, can we? The only things that we would change would be personal preference items. But they are so custom to the point that you can change whatever you want. So if you want higher or wider door frames, they'll make them for you. Pretty much, if the van will be safe, they'll build it. They're only small, they only want to be small, and they have availability to build you a van next year, which is incredible at this point. Yeah, considering most bigger name companies, I'd say, have a minimum 1 to 2 year wait list. And if they're going to keep delivering vans to this standard, you would not be disappointed with one of these vans at all. At all. Anyway, yeah, we'll probably stop boring you. We'll actually show you this van. So,
yeah, let's take you around and have a look.
So in here is everything to do with the water.
I love that it's all labelled. Like, how good is that?
So if you have anything to do, like any problems with your water, come to here and this is where you will fix it. All the wiring, the water pump, everything is out here. That's pretty much it. There's 300 litre water tanks, so you've got 300 litres of water available. There's not much more to say to it. It's pretty simple and straightforward.
It's simple and easy and, again, well thought out. No more climbing under the van.
Around the back, you've got the Trippin hot water system. Now I tried that out last night and we ran out of water before we ran out of hot water.
Yeah, Dion emptied the tank, so we went through a whole 100 litres, one tank, and we switched tanks and it was fine.
Yeah, so this hot water system keeps up with a standard person having a shower. Like, you don't get a 2-minute shower before your tank runs out like you do in our old van.
Oh, that was terrible. I could barely wash my hair. And yeah, Dion was in there going, the hot water's going to run out at some point. And no, he ran out.
The tank ran out first. That was 80 litres. And yeah, still nothing. So on the back, we've got a 35-inch tyre, I think 315, 75, 16. Yeah, they can make whatever size you need for your car, and they get different rims to suit if you've got 5-stud or 6-stud. Jerrycan holders, toolboxes, whatever you need on the back. Anyway, around this side, this is one thing I do like. Marine hatches that are upside down. They make so much more sense because they don't open up all the way. Our ones fold flat, which means if it rains, there's nothing to stop water getting in. Whereas these will stop the water getting in, but you've still got ventilation for your fridge. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's just, again, just taking something that everyone does and making it better.
Yeah. Simple things. Another thing I like about these guys, they have 2 keys for your toolboxes. All one number, other side is all one number. Makes it a lot easier.
But we love the size of this tunnel boot.
So that's a full-size fold down, like flat fold chair, and you can fit that and more in these tunnel, like in this tunnel boot alone.
So these are these reclining chairs. It tucks up around the corner, and then they've got what, like 3 or 4 normal chairs, 3 chairs across. So we actually didn't realise that the tunnel boots came this big because you don't see them.
No. But it makes so much more sense for the bigger objects you have in your van. Like, you don't want to climb into the van each time you want to put your chair away. You can put it right there. And it makes so much more sense. Wish we'd done it on ours.
Ah, well, if we knew. If we knew.
Maybe on the next van, hey?
Yeah, maybe.
Then in the front, it's just a standard tunnel boot. Same as all the others.
Got a lot of stuff in there.
And on the front, we've got a standard 2-sided toolbox with drawer slide. Got a log box on top. Now, this van is gasless inside, so there's no electric, no gas cooked up in there, which means that you don't need huge bottles. And yeah, running on electric, you don't need the extra weight at the front. So you can option up for the bigger bottles if you're not going all electric. But for this, I reckon it works. Around this side, another toolbox. All the basics, all the essentials. On this side, you have the barbecue slide.
So there's 2 picnic tables. We've got one here and one over there. And then you've got your outdoor speakers, your lights. Now there's what, 3 lights?
Yes.
2, 3, and they're actually all on their own switches.
Yes, so the white light, each single light is separate, and the orange light on each single light is separate as well. So you don't have to have all of them lit up and all the other side lit up. You can have them to each separate one, and all it is just getting in a little control box which will turn on whichever one you want. Now the main part Jess likes.
Airbag suspension. So we've never used airbag suspension before. We've never been rich enough to have it.
No, don't think we ever will be rich enough to have it.
But pretty cool, hey?
Yeah, definitely makes life easier when coming to camp. So you know how that works. You power on, turn the compressor on, then you go up and down on your airbags and air out line. So if you want to actually pump your tires up or deflate, it's all on the van instead of having to run it from the car like we have to, us porbies. Yeah, that's about it for outside.
Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the interior features of the van. It's a little bit dark because it's quite sunny and we've got the roof hatches closed today. Just chucked the aircon on, battery's nearly topped back up, so yeah, it's getting a bit warm. Alright, the first feature in this van that you'll probably notice, and a lot of people are doing it, if you're watching other walkthrough videos of vans, you'll see it. People are getting their beds and they're smushing them up against the wall and having a big closet here instead. We've seen a million videos and we were like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
We're not quite understanding. However, now that we've had it, it kind of makes sense. If you are able-bodied, you know, and you can move around, the person that is lying here can move their feet to here and all of a sudden you can climb in and out without climbing over them. Or worst case, you can just climb over the couch. It also means, unlike an east-west bed where you've got the cupboard jammed up against one person's side, everyone gets the full length benefit of a queen bed, so no one is curled up on their side if they're tall. And if you look at this, I'll move this out of the way, you look at the cupboard space you get, and that's, like, that is impressive. That is the 4-way deep, it's not angled at the back, it's a proper hanging closet. So you still get your storage above, and you also get a drawer down here, which is quite nice. Underneath that is your tunnel boot. You've got your above head cupboards here and your reading lights, and there is still a nook here for phone charging, but these lights are actually pretty good. They actually have USB chargers inside them, so everyone can charge their phones. I'd probably, if I was going to do things a bit different, I'd probably put a pocket on that wall so that whoever's over there can put their phone into something while it charges at night time. So I think you just had it on the bed last night, didn't you?
Yeah, I had it stuffed down the side of the mattress.
Yeah, so that's probably a small minor detail that I would change. We don't mind the fans being here. They're actually, it's very cool having them right above you.
And they aren't in the middle of the bed where you're going to hit your head on them, so...
No, those,
not bad.
We're both quite tall and we didn't have that issue. Also, something that we sort of didn't notice to start with, but it's pretty cool, is they've got a full-size leather bed head behind the bed. So when you're sitting up and reading, you're not getting marks on your wall, because normally, you know, they only go this high. It goes the full length, and it just looks a bit more complete, I think.
Yeah, it's good not to hit your head on the hard wall behind.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there wanting to read or watch TV, sitting up.
Which, I mean, you do when you're in the van, don't you? You want to stretch out, you get into your bed. They've also got the Dometic dust reduction system. And of course, if you preferred the, what's it called, the Caravan over that, they could put a Caravan in for you. Anything you're seeing that you're like, oh, I wouldn't have done that, I would have done this, they can do. I actually was losing my mind every time they said to me, but it's custom, whatever you want. But it's custom, we can change that. And I was just like, whew, like that's not normally what you get. And especially now with all of the difficulties getting supplies, the bigger companies are just saying no to customization unless you're paying, you know, crazy money. So that's good to know. So we need to talk about the footwell. There's no cutout, there's no step down. So there is a double step outside to make up for it. But I love that if you have a small child, they're not going to be falling into the hole. And I'm not falling into the hole. Like whenever I come around this side of the bed, I'm constantly, because I'm so used to having that cutout, I'm constantly looking down, oh, where's that? So I'm not going to fall. In this, it's just a flat floor, and it just makes sense,
Yeah,
I think.
it just makes more sense with the walkway going down beside the bed.
Yeah, to not have that big cutout that's gonna be a trip hazard. So again, just little things they've thought of that make life easier. I'm also going to show you something that I didn't know, because no caravan manufacturer's ever told us. These little light switches, I don't know if you are aware, but you can pull them off and move them. So if you don't like it, I always assumed they were glued or siliconed in, or, you know, if there's two here and you don't like the way they are, you can just swap them around. So caravan hack, which everyone else might know, but I did not. So yeah, so if you, this one's got 3 lights there for inside, and it's got the 6 lights over here, which is your outside lights. Yeah, if you wanted to switch them, switch them. So super easy. So
you can stick the 6 lights outside down beside your bed if you want it.
Yeah.
Just so if someone's outside your van, you turn on all the lights and watch them run.
That's it. So we'll talk about the couch. So this is all real leather, and it's got all the stitching. Now you noticed earlier I said about the stitching being a bit hard to clean up after a toddler. That's where it's just all here. It's just getting stuck in the grooves. It's not a big deal. If you're all adults or all older children, it wouldn't be a big deal. And again, that's all personal preference. You can put whatever you want there. But that's how nitpicky I'm having to be to find something in the van that I don't love. That nitpicky. So, because this is the prototype van, they've put a smaller table in so that you've got like a dining area and then you have just a seating area. Again, that's changeable. You could put a big table in, you could make the seats smaller, whatever you want.
Make it into a club lounge, do whatever.
I reckon a club lounge in here would be good. It's not that, like, because by the time you do this, it's probably only slightly bigger than a club lounge.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I would have done. It would have stuck out a little bit, but I don't think it would have overall ruined the space of the area.
No, it'd just give you a nice bit of cushioning on that back edge there that you can lean against.
Yeah. And again, tiny nitpicking. This control panel, I'd move up slightly because when I was leaning against this, my head was hitting the dials. Again, so nitpicky, like not even an issue. But we're asked to review it, and these are small things that would make a difference in an otherwise really well thought out van.
Well, in saying that, if you weren't 6 foot, it probably wouldn't be an issue.
Well, no, it wouldn't. But if you're tall, it's different parameters for what you need in a van. So, again, just scooching that up a tiny bit. Kitchen. I love the kitchen. So we've got junk everywhere. You can't really see much, but so we're full induction. No gas. That allows you to have a bin drawer, which I know a lot of people want in vans. So when I open my bin drawer, we have a normal size bin and we have a recycle bin, which is next level. And then when you come down here, there's a little shelf, and that's got our chopping boards, that's got our dustpan and broom, dish drainer, that's the word I'm looking for. Everything in here is soft close as well, which is really cool. You get your full 4 drawers for cutlery and whatnot. Now what's cool about this is normally the bottom drawer is a flap. This is still a full functioning drawer, which you don't see. Our one is this little flat pull down pain in the butt thing. So yeah, full length drawers. And my favorite part about the kitchen is this sink. So this is actually synthetic stone for the bench top, which does add weight, but is beautiful. And if you look at this, they've actually put, what would you call this, indentation, grooving, and that's your draining board. And then you've got a removable, we're not going to show you in the sink because I've hidden stuff in there. You've got a removable cover, which is the same material as that.
And also doubles as a chopping board.
Doubles as a chopping board. Got your beautiful black tapware. This is my favourite feature. It's obviously extra weight, so if I was to build a van with this, that would be something I'd have to think about. But I love that. And this is just nice. Nice, you get it. You get the best of both worlds. You've got your big Fusion speaker, and the controls for that are actually down by the door. So it's got a little cover here. And it's really pretty. Go turn it on. So it comes up with
stuff.
Pictures, and it connected super easy to my phone. It really was not difficult to work at all. This is something new that they're trialing. Oh no, we don't want Rockaway Bear. No. It's Hudson's bedtime alarm. Mute it. We do not listen to Rockaway Bear normally. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is, I can't remember what they said it was called. It's something they're trialing instead of that white rubbery plasticky stuff that's normally on your caravan, what do you call it?
Yeah,
edging.
just your edging.
They're using this black stuff. It's harder and it actually gets molded to the caravan. It's just a bit more hard wearing and they're giving it a try. We don't mind it. Like, I love the durability. It is a little bit more abrasive, but I mean, it's not like you're touching it a lot. But again, that's just a personal preference. But not having your kids pull this off, it's not going to get stained, because when you go up to the Cape and you've got white edging, it stains. So it's yeah, another good feature that, again, optional. Yeah, you've got your microwave down the bottom. You've got a full-size pot drawer.
Full size, that is indeed.
Proper full-size pot drawer, like a kitchen at home. And then this is very cool. So you've got your full-size pantries. A lot of vans have them. I've never seen one like this. So they've really thought about it. It's got 4 latches because obviously it's going to be heavy. But when you pull it out, come on this side. Alright, you've got your shelving all through here. You've got your sides. But then you also have drawers. So it's super easy to find things. You're not being overwhelmed with there just being shelves everywhere.
Yeah, you're not reaching through to the back to try and find that 1 tin of baked beans.
Yeah, it's just so well thought through. Again, all soft close. And yeah, I love the 4 latches because so often you see the big pot drawers and whatnot that have 1 latch and then they're flying open when you're going on corrugations, whereas this, it's actually been thought about, which is nice. It's a nice change. We've got our full Dometic compressor fridge, 220-ish litres. It's the same one we have in our van. It's really great fridge. You'll see our 101 donuts we bought yesterday, because Kenilworth, you must come and get donuts. Let's just have a look. Let's just have a look because they're so pretty. Ready?
And that one there is the only one I got. The rest are Jess's.
You lie. Don't make me out to be the fatty who wants all the donuts. We got 2 each. But we'll probably end up eating half of Hudson's because they're huge. Yeah, so that's that. You come down to the bunk area and the bathroom. This is, again, something that's optional. It's having your basin out next to the bunks and your washing machine down here. I don't know if I love it yet. I think you do lose a little bit by not having a cupboard, but again, this is all personal preference. This is not, you could have a cupboard there. It's not an issue. But when you go into your bathroom, it makes a lot of sense because if you, so firstly there's a mirror. Hey Dion.
Hi.
But when you go in there, there is so much room to get changed and dry yourself. It makes a lot of sense taking the vanity out.
Okay, so I'm not exactly a small person, but
Let me just get around here. Yeah.
you might have to back up a bit so you can see it full. But I am a big person and like there is room. You could actually dry yourself in here without going out, which is something I do like about a van with a decent sized bathroom.
Yeah.
Because you're missing the sink and vanity that would normally be there with your dryer up here, which takes out half the space in here. So it definitely makes a lot more sense for a bigger person.
Yes. They also still have a cupboard up here. You're not losing that functionality. You still have a cupboard up there to put all of your bits and pieces. As you can see, like they've got 2 towel racks in here. So there's masses of room. And the shower is actually massive. And it's got a lip down the bottom. It's all been done with proper fiberglass so that you can use it as a bath.
Yeah, a short bath for a kid.
And how did you find that shower when you used it? Like, there's a lot more room, hey?
Yeah.
You can actually almost swing a cat in there. They also have in here, it's probably a bit wet still. They also have a fantastic hatch, or a max hatch. Yeah, max hatch. It's rain sensing, so you can turn that one on, pull all the hot air out of the room. You can also blow air down to help dry the shower. And if that hatch is open when you're not here and it rains, the hatch will just close, so you're not going to come back to a flooded bathroom because it's decided to rain a heap while you weren't home. So that's a very cool design feature.
Very handy.
And the bunk area is pretty standard, really. They do have, again, there's always good features that they've done. The little steps they've put for the kids to make it easier for them to climb up. They've got that black moulding around here as well, which stops kids, you know, coming off when they're getting up with their shoes and whatnot. It's not scratching it. But yeah, the little steps definitely make it a lot easier to climb. And I think the bunks are bigger than normal. They're quite wide. Like quite wide.
And fairly long too. Like, I'd be able to sleep up there if Jess kicks me out of bed.
Oh, you never know. But what I kind of like too is the head end doesn't have anything down here. So all of the bits and pieces, the fan, the light, the PowerPoint, everything your kid wants to play with when they're supposed to be sleeping is at the foot of the bed. I mean, I know you can flip them around, but we find that Hudson likes to play with the lights when he goes to bed, doesn't he? To try and stay up some nights. So it was nice having down here. Yeah, so Darren's going to talk you through the electronics now. Keep in mind this is a spec'd up van, so it has a lot of the features so that you can go and have a look at what they can offer. You don't have to have them, that would obviously bring the price of the van down a little bit, but it just shows you what they're capable of so that you can get the van you want with the off-grid capabilities that you want.
Okay, now for the fun part. The electronics that are under the couch. Everything you need to be off-grid.
All of the bits. It's quite an impressive setup they've got going on.
Yes. So this here is the Combi 3000 watt inverter. It has a built-in 120 amp AC charger. So when you plug into mains, this will charge up your 600 amps of lithium. Now you've got an Enerdrive DC to DC charger, which will charge while you're driving, and also runs 40 amps worth of solar. You have a Morningstar 60 amp charger, or TriStar, whichever you want to call it. And then there's also the stock solar charger in here somewhere.
I think there's stuff under where I'm sitting as well.
Okay, yeah, the batteries are under where Jess is sitting.
Yeah,
so there's
some stuff under there.
Two 300 amp hour lithiums there. There is room for more solar. There's basically probably another 3 or 4 panels. Weight capacity on this van, it can go up to 4 or 5. The van itself at the moment weighs 2,960. So you would have over 1,500 kilos carry capacity. So you could chuck in a third lithium battery and run an extra 4 panels on the roof, and you could run off the inverter indefinitely with the aircon. Other than that, you have the hydraulic brake booster for the disc brakes. That's about it really. A whole heap of fuses, a whole heap of shunts, just so it can tell you exactly what's being drawn from wherever you want. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It's a very neat package.
It's been done nicely.
It's been wired up nice.
And yeah, give them a call and just go and check out what they have on offer, because
we were actually surprised at the quality of the van when we went and saw it.
You know, we've looked in a lot of vans. Like a lot of vans. We've been to a lot of shows where they, you know, the best of the best is there, and they're not always great quality.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to fault this yet, which is surprising, because we're good at nitpicking these things, aren't we?
There's a few small things that we would do differently in our own van.
Not actually things about the structure of the van or the quality of the finishes. It's an amazing opportunity, and we thank the guys at Offroad Grit for that.
Yeah.
We've really enjoyed having their van this weekend. And yeah, we honestly wish them all the best in the future, because hand on heart, they're building a really good product.